Now I'm going to go over the bracketology for Division One women's basketball, as in like the 1 through 4 seeds. And obviously, if you're a 1 through 4, you get to host the first 2 rounds. And for those 5 seeds out there, you have time to move yourselves up to a 4 seed or even a 3 seed. I don't know about a 2 seed, but you get the whole point. And those 1 through 4 seeds in each region, and no, like the 1 seeds would be South Carolina, Stanford, Iowa, NC State. The 2 seeds would be UCLA, Colorado, Kansas State, and Texas. The 3 seeds, UConn, Ohio State, Louisville, and Indiana. And the 4 seeds, LSU, Gonzaga, Virginia Tech, and USC. So that's that on that side of the docket. Now I'm gonna go over like the last 4 buys to the next 4 out, and I will include their quality game schedules, and it includes the teams on this list as well as for sure NCAA tournament teams right now. And obviously, if you're a team that's like not on the next 4 buys, next 4 out list, I'm not including you in all this. And this is besides the respective conference tournaments. So you got to keep that in mind as well. Now, Vanderbilt is on one of the last 4 buys. Alabama, LSU, at Texas A&M, Tennessee, and Arkansas. This is besides the SEC tournament. Iowa State is actually on the list despite being so good in conference. In the Big 12, they got Oklahoma, Kansas State, at Texas, and they played Kansas State once on the road. They played Kansas State again at home. I just don't remember which one's which, but you get the whole point. You get to play Kansas State twice, and one of those times they're not going to have a Yoke Now, Texas A&M's on that last 4 buys list. Mississippi, they have a lot of quality games. Mississippi State, at Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, LSU, Arkansas, at Auburn, at Tennessee, and Alabama. Besides the SEC tournament, obviously Alabama's on that list. And this is besides the SEC tournament. At Vanderbilt, Tennessee, at LSU, Auburn, at South Carolina, Mississippi State, Florida, and at Texas A&M. Now, last 4, Tennessee is actually one of those teams. And their quality games, besides the SEC tournament, at Alabama, Arkansas, South Carolina, at Vanderbilt at that, LSU, Texas A&M, and at South Carolina. Now, Washington's on that list. They got Utah, Colorado, Stanford, Oregon State, at Colorado, and at Utah, besides the Pac-12 tournament. And at Auburn, besides the SEC tournament, at Arkansas, at Alabama, at LSU, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, and at Florida. Now, Maryland, besides the Big Ten tournament, and that's Iowa, Penn State, and at Ohio State, and at Indiana. Now, the first 4 out. This is where you kind of draw a line where you're not going to get in, but of course, if you have teams in front of you lose, that would help. But, you can't rely on that. You got to control your own destiny. Now, Minnesota at Michigan State, Ohio State, at Nebraska, Iowa, and at Penn State. Now, George Mason, besides the A10 tournament, St. Joseph's and Richmond. And I'm only including Richmond because they're on this list. Now, Michigan's actually on the list next for the first 4 out. At Penn State, Nebraska, at Iowa, Michigan State, and at Ohio State, besides the Big Ten tournament. And obviously Richmond, besides the A10 tournament, at George Mason. I mean, they don't play St. Joseph's anymore, apparently on the schedule. Now, the next 4 out, Belmont is on that list. Besides the Missouri Valley Conference tournament, they have just Drake. Now, Arkansas, you're on that list besides the SEC tournament, Auburn, at Florida, at Tennessee, at Texas A&M, Vanderbilt, South Carolina, and at Ole Miss. Now, Florida is on the list on the next 4 out, at LSU, Arkansas, at Mississippi State, Ole Miss, at Alabama, and Auburn. Now, Villanova is on the list, and besides the Big East tournament, at Marquette, at Creighton, and at UConn. Obviously, if you're 1 through 4 seeds, you cannot have any more bad losses. if you want to continue to be that way, and you could affect yourself like being from the number one overall seed to number two overall seed, even though you might be still a one seed, or even drop from a one seed to a two seed. But you get the whole point. And obviously, if you're a five seed, you want to play yourselves up. You've got to get some more quality wins, and you got to take care of business, and no more bad losses for those bubble teams. Obviously, some of them, like a Belmont, the only way they're going to get in is to win a conference tournament. Obviously, winning a conference tournament in general helps to get in, but you cannot have any more bad losses. You got to have some quality wins in there. I mean, I'm just telling the truth. And all this, if you have opportunities, you got to take advantage of them. And all this, and you cannot just rely on teams in front of you losing to help you. But you gotta win those games. You gotta win as many games as you can. And sometimes, I know it's in a conference like a Big East, that's gonna be hard with UConn. And I know UConn's not exactly UConn of the past, and they're not exactly healthy in the last few years. But it's gonna be awfully. It might be difficult to win the conference tournament. Maybe you just get to a certain point and you get in, but still, you don't want to leave any doubt. So gotta just go ahead and win as much as possible. And obviously, if you have losses to those teams, it could affect you. Not those bad losses, but those other quality games that are losses. That could affect you in the work, like moving you down if you're on the bubble, because you don't want to have like a losing streak before you get to the conference tournament, or a long enough losing streak that really affects your NCAA tournament standings in terms of like the seeding. And obviously the NAD, RPI, strength of schedule does affect, and in terms of like the number of teams in the conference too, that could affect in all this. We're going to wait and see what happens, and I will do this again sometime next week, then the week after, then until that week of the selection show. And obviously by the week of the selection show, on that very week, I'm only going to do once, because it doesn't make sense because to do multiple times, because nothing's going to change. Because by that point you'll know, hey, there's nothing you can do. You just gotta have to hope, and you don't want to be in that sweaty situation. And in order to avoid that such sweaty situation, if you're one of those bubble teams, you got to win some games to get there. And winning the conference tournament, like I said, would really help. And obviously avoiding bad losses. And you got to take advantage of your good wins. And obviously a long winning streak will really help you. So anyways, if you like this content, hit like and subscribe it. See you guys later. On the road to 600 subscribers, of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 more. So make money out this course. Liking the video, comment the video really helps the YouTube algorithm so more people can see it. Sharing the video does help as well, so more people can watch. And if you're watching and not subscribed, hit subscribe button. It's free the notification bell as well. And I just decided, it started, like there's one today, and I decided, some games are today, some games are tomorrow, some games on Sunday. I don't have particular days on those games. It's just, I'm just listening to quality games and not like those games that you should beat, and you cannot have any bad losses like that. I'm serious.